Hello, friends, and welcome back to Malicious Compliance Stories. OP, you have every right to talk back to someone who speaks to you in this manner. A Karen from our first story was ridiculously out of line. She's at a water park. Did she expect to see everyone in 1910s bathing costumes where barely a knee would be seen? It's also highly inappropriate to comment on anyone's body, let alone a stranger. Told a lady at the water park that I don't care about her kids. I, 25-year-old female, was at a water park with my friends. My friends and I had planned it for a while. They drove from different parts of the state so that we can go to this specific water park. So I have tattoos, a lot of them. My right arm has a whole sleeve and my left is half a sleeve. I was wearing a bikini like most of the other women at the park, so my tattoos were pretty exposed. Most of the day went fine, but while making our way to one of the rides to wait in line, a lady who was walking the opposite way of me stopped me. She asked how I could be showing my tattoos with so many kids around. Tattoos are so normal and less stigmatized that it didn't even occur to me that someone could get offended by them. I immediately clicked that I was dealing with some sort of Karen, so I told her that my tattoos are awesome and I wanted to show them off. She didn't like that answer. She told me that her kids have to see people like me who are branded and are going to hell because God doesn't want sinners with tattoos in heaven. I told her that she had two solutions. She and her kids could stay home and never go outside, or she can put a blindfold on her kids if she's so worried about them seeing sinners. She called me a rude B-word and that I should cover up my indecent body. I know she was talking about my tattoos, but as someone who's dealt with body issues because I struggled with obesity my whole life, and it wasn't until a few years ago that I was able to reach a healthy weight, being told that my body was indecent struck a nerve. I told her that I didn't give an F about what her kids saw and that she should learn how to not be such a stupid bee. She looked at me horrified, dragged her kids away while yelling at me that she was going to tell security about me and get me kicked out. Spoiler, nothing happened. My friends were with me and they said that I could have handled the situation a bit better. That yes, she was unreasonable, but sometimes avoiding trouble is easier to not cause a scene. I disagree. She shouldn't have stopped a random stranger at a water park. And our second story. Oh, you're a big deal? We're still closed. More ridiculous customers in Taco Hell. Today was actually a really great day. Shift ran really smooth, and even though we didn't make our late night time goal for the drive-thru, everyone was in a great mood, and we got our closing stuff done early. This one guy, though, our lobby closes at 10 p.m., but if you're already in there eating, we let you finish your food. I've trained all my cashiers in a polite, cheery speech. Hey, just to let you know, we're closing in X minutes, but you're more than welcome to finish your food. We had a decent group of teenagers come in 5 minutes before we closed, so my cashier gave them the spiel and all was well. 10 p.m. comes along and I lock the doors, let them know that if they leave, they can't come back in, and walk away to do other things. I walk back into the lobby to clean the soda machine, then there are two new guys with food from the restaurant next door, known for their giant hamburgers and pie. I politely let them know that we're actually closed, and unless they're eating food from here, I need them to leave. Customer: no, it's fine, I roll with them. Points to the original group. Me repeats my earlier statement, more firmly but still quite polite. Customer: you must not know who I am. I'm kind of a big deal and I roll with them. You can't make me leave. Me: sir, please leave. I've asked you nicely. Also something about they've been in and ordered before closing. Customer: nope, I'm a big deal, rolling with these guys. Me: well, since you roll with them, how about I just kick all of you out? Customer: haha, y'all about to be PO'd at me then. Turns back to me, cause I ain't leaving. I'm at the end of my rope with this guy. I don't want to call the cops for something so simple, so I put on my auntie face, much like mommy face, but alas, I have no offspring of my own, and tell him to please get out. He and his friend gather their pie, and he says he'll just go back to countries where they accept all nationalities, and outright says I'm just kicking him out because of his color. I follow him to the door so I can pull it shut behind him. Halfway out the door, he goes psych and turns, but spun back around when he saw my face. I really have no idea what my expression was. And to top it off, one of the other guys walks up to the trash by the door, and I say, oh sorry, this trash can is closed. The one by the other door's open. There is no can in this trash can dock thing, and there's a lid on the opening. He gives me this smug look and drops his trash on the floor in front of me. On the floor, half a damn burrito. I pick it up and walk over to the trash to toss it, then into the office to hide how hard I'm shaking and how close I am to tears. I do not handle conflict well. I actually like my job a lot. I'm in line for a promotion to assistant manager soon. Most of my customers are great, or at least ordinary. Thanks for reading. Edit. Everyone seems to think that I definitely should have called the cops. Little backstory, the cops in my town don't give a crap. I called them for some kids stealing our chairs from our lobby, and the dispatcher literally asked me, "What do you want us to do about it?" The next time they stole a chair, they also tried to assault one of my employees, who was also a personal friend, and again, the dispatcher clearly couldn't care less, and the cops took well over an hour to get there. By the time they did, I'd practically done their job for them. I got statements from every single employee, plus the one kid who came forward about his friends, names, phone numbers, details, everything. I gave it all to the cop, and he looked at me like I was confused. Hence my reluctance to call them. And our next story, Adventures in Wedding Videography. I used to run a small, two-people wedding videography business. We produced a very specific type of video and charged a relatively low price for the work. Essentially, we would come to the wedding and film everything that happened throughout the day, starting with the family arriving to set up the venue, the bridesmaids and groomsmen getting prepared and taking their photographs, the caterers setting up, etc., and going through the entire ceremony and reception. The video we produced was a time-lapse style of the entire event cut to music of the couple's choosing. Think a music video of their wedding? When it was done, I provided up to 10 Blu-ray copies of the video. The entire process took approximately 10 to 12 hours of filming and about a week of editing. There were other companies in the region that offered a similar product for around $1,500, but since it was a two-man operation start to finish for us, we only charged $900, with additional fees occurring only if we had to travel more than 2 hours. We had a number of happy clients and our business was starting to grow. One day, a family friend, really a friend of a family friend, but still, inquired about our service. We sent them some sample videos and told them our rate. They agreed and everything was set until the day before the wedding, the mother of the bride called me. She said that she'd discussed it with her husband and decided that $900 was far too much and wondered if we wanted to barter. I told her that we didn't typically do trades and explained why everything cost the amount that it did. That wasn't good enough for her, and she began getting clearly upset. I remember some choice lines of dialogue. "All you're doing is pointing a camera at my kid and then burning me a DVD. I can do the same thing for free. My son makes YouTube videos and it only takes him a day. Why is yours going to take a week? I think you're stretching to make me pay you more." Eventually, she told me what she felt was fair. She offered me $350 for the shoot, and in exchange for the difference, she would allow me 3 days of a rental property she owned on the beach. Again, this was the day before the wedding, so I'd already taken time off my day job, non-salaried, so just a straight loss of hours. I knew this lady, and I couldn't exactly afford to not make any money, plus I honestly needed to take a vacation, so I begrudgingly accepted. I knew immediately it was a stupid thing to have done. I filmed the wedding alone. My brother-in-law couldn't come. I do all the editing myself, and I send out her Blu-rays. I managed to get it done in under a week. When they arrived, I called to check on how she liked them and to schedule my time at the beach. This is what she told me. "Oh, we watched them 3 times in a row. It was beautiful. We loved it so much. Unfortunately, I can't let you have those days at the beach house." I thought she was going to say that it was already booked, but instead she said, "The video's only 10 minutes long, and it seems I was right about you not needing as much time as you said you did, so I can't let you have my beach house for 3 days. I crap you not, the next sentence she said was, "I use this beach house to make my money, and I can't take a loss just because I told you I would. You can still come out and use the beach for an afternoon, but you can't stay overnight. My family and I will want to use it the next day. Thank you again." And then she hung up. From then on, I always had a written and signed contract, and I never again bartered for my services. And our last story. People parked their cars and said they owned the house. This happened to my mom. There was a big parade in her small town, and Sol would just park wherever. She just got off her morning shift and came home to find people parked in her driveway and hanging out on her porch and using her patio set on her deck. A few people had even borrowed her camping chairs, which she keeps in the corner of her patio. She asked them if the cars belonged to any of them. They said they did, but that they lived there and she could F off to park elsewhere. She was like, whatever, and parked behind the vehicle sideways, thus blocking all of them in. The group was screaming at her to move her damn car or they'll call the cops on her. She just smirked and unlocked her side door and went in the house. She said it was hilarious hearing the people panicking because they realized they messed up. They called the local police on her when she refused to move her car. She's friends with the police. Super small town. They laughed and said technically they couldn't force Mom to move her car since she was parked illegally in her own driveway. Mom finally moved it and told them she wouldn't have had a problem if they hadn't decided her lawn chairs and patio were theirs to use. She scolded them and said they should park to the side so the homeowner could still park and to sit their butts in the tree lawn like normal people do. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.